going to school. I had to wake up at 5 o'clock in order to go to school. They started. Hello, Sanibonani, beautiful people. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for clicking to watch this video. If you are new here, my name is Thenjiwe. I am a South African content creator currently based in the UK. And in this video, I just want to talk about the reasons that we as Africans end up staying when we come to these Western countries, when we leave our motherland, where we were born, where we have families, where we have friends, and come abroad and end up staying for many years, and some of us end up never going back home ever. Number one, the National Health Services. Guys, the system allows everyone to be able to be attended to. It gives everyone access to medical help. Everyone who lives here, you can have access to a doctor. You have access, like you have your own doctor. You're registered with a doctor. You don't have to be rich to have a doctor. You don't have to be a rich family or work in parliament in order to have a family doctor. It's free, guys. Even to give birth, it's free. Like to have a midwife, it's free. And it's like world-class hospitals. Hospitals are very good here, and it's absolutely 100% free. NHS is free. National Health Services is free. And I know some people do have private medical insurances, and they usually use them for private stuff, like medical things that are more cosmetic, or but it's very, very few people who have medical aid. It is free to go to hospitals, and you get good hospitals, and like guys, what else can we ask for? In Africa, you have to have money in order to have medical aid. You have to be very rich or be in a job that is very professional in order for you to have access to private hospitals. Otherwise, it's very expensive. Even to give birth is very, very expensive in Africa. Here, it is free. Mahala. You pay nothing. To call an ambulance, you do not have to have connections. You call an ambulance, they come and attend to you. They come and take you. It is free, guys. Free medical help. What else would make you want to go back to queue for 4 days just for your toothache to be attended to? Why would you want to be in a place where you have to sell your liver to make money so that you can go and see a doctor for your headache? Secondly, education. Education is free. Education is free here. It's only the very few, very rich and very elite that take their children to fee-paying schools. But generally, education is free. All you have to do is make sure you live in a good postcode and your children are going to go to the best schools. And some of the free schools here are better than some of the most expensive schools in our countries. You don't have to worry what your children's going to eat in school. If you can't afford food, there's free lunch. They will provide free lunch. Not lunch that looks like it was cooked for dogs. Like free lunch, good lunch, sit down, fork and knife, eat. And also, school uniform is cheap, cheap, cheap. Like everyone has access to education, which is why most people, once they have children here, it becomes difficult to then go back to Africa because they are thinking, number one, I'm not going to be able to afford private education for my children. Number two, where am I going to live? Because you know, in Africa, some of your children in Africa, including myself, when I was going to school, I had to wake up at 5 o'clock in order to go to school that started at 8:30 in the morning, because our schools are so far away from us. And for parents who want to send their children to better schools, which are usually schools that were previously only for white people, only for Indians, only for mixed race people, are far away from black areas. So it is difficult for parents who have given birth to their children here, or who have brought their children here and introduced them to the education system here, to then take them back to Africa for their education. Food. Food is cheap. Food is affordable. Everybody can afford food. Nobody starves. If you are starving, it's because you are on a diet. If you are eating lettuce, it's not because you can't afford meat. It's because you are on a diet, or you just decided to be a vegan or a vegetarian. But everyone can afford food. Everyone can afford meat. If you cannot even afford, even in the shops, there's a section where it's just reduced. If you go to the shop before they close, you can buy food for like 10p. 5p. There are options. You can never starve. And a pound is worth something here. If you have a pound, you can go to a shop that's called the pound shop. You will get something. You will buy something, whether it's food, whether it's your shower gel or whatever you need, you will get. Even sanitary pads you can get for a pound. How much can you get for a naira? How much can you get for 1 rand? How much can you get for 1 shilling? We need our money to start gaining value in Africa. Like, it would be so nice to have a shop where you know you can get a lot of things for just 1 rand. Furniture. If you have an ugly house, you have no taste. You just have no taste. The furniture is cheap here, and not just from the shops that are like your brand new shops where you go and buy your furniture, and there are always sales. I love that. There are always sales. Furniture and clothes. Always sales. There are outlets galore. Outlets everywhere. And also, the free stuff is always available. Yeah, you can get free furniture. You can get free furniture. There are people not only advertising to give away their furniture, they're selling it for next to nothing, whether it's on your Facebook marketplace or all those other places, but there are also charity shops. Like in every corner, there's a charity shops. Everywhere you go. You know how many churches we have in Africa? That's how many charity shops they have here. And those charity shops are not only just cheap. If you go and tell them you can't afford, they will often give you things for free, both clothes and furniture. But I need to speak to my African people in the next video about that rubbish that we end up getting here for free or buying here and sending home. We need to talk about that. Cars. Cars are so affordable here. Cars are very, very affordable and are reliable. If you buy a second-hand car here, it is reliable because, number one, there's MOT that you have to do every year to make sure that your car is roadworthy. Number two, tax. People pay their road tax, and people, like, cars are maintained. Like, my first car here was 250 pounds, guys. I came here on a Tuesday, started work on a Wednesday, bought a car for cash on Friday. Cars are so cheap. 250 pounds I paid for a car. I know people who've paid 50 pounds for cars here. Cars are so cheap. A little bit expensive to maintain when you think that all the things we get away from in Africa are compulsory here, because you cannot get away with not paying your tax, with not insuring your car, with not, like, there are things you cannot get away from, but still cars are just affordable, and everyone can afford a car. You don't have to be rich or to have a professional job. A cleaner drives a car. A nanny drives a car. A waitress can drive a car. So everyone can drive a car. It's very, very affordable to have a car. And public transport. Public transport here is very reliable. It is very safe. And it is used by everyone. When I say everyone, I mean your ministers who work in parliament. I mean your celebrities. I mean your accountants, your doctors, your lawyers. Everyone gets on the tube. Everyone gets on the bus. It may be a little bit less available when you move to the countryside, when you live in the countryside. But if you live in the city, if you live in your London, your Liverpool, your Manchester, public transport is good, guys. Trains. I used to be so traumatized when I first moved abroad. I used to be so traumatized of public transport because I still had the mentality from back home. And I've got stories with my public transport experience. Like, here is no 4-4. You get on a, like, as a stand-up comedian, I used to come home like at 2 a.m. in the morning. Public transport. Like, you get on a train at 12 a.m. You get on a train at half past 12, you are at a train station and nobody's going to bother you. I get off the train station. It's a 12-minute walk from the train station to my house, and I have never had a problem. I would never do that back home. Would you do that where you live in Africa? Just as a woman especially, just walk carefree at night. Not just public transport, houses, burglary. Like, there are no burglar guards. I used to be like, when I first came here, I was like, this house, I need more protection. I don't feel safe. Because back in South Africa, we all live like we live in prison. We live in prison. Every house has burglar bars. Every house has like either a guard that's sitting on the gate. Every like big gates, long, tall walls because of crime. Here, they don't do petty crime. They're not going to come and steal your TV. TVs are cheap. If they want to steal, they'll go abroad and steal a country. They don't do like petty crime and be stealing steal your phone, steal your shoes. No. So it is safe to live here. You can leave your house unlocked. You're going to come back. Everything is there. You can leave like your car unlocked. You come back. Your car is there. Everything is there. Safety is very, very important, and it becomes difficult. So many people end up having anxiety of going back home because they get so used to the way of life here, especially when it comes to being safe. And the police. You cannot bribe a police. No dockets are going to disappear for your petty crimes. And also, when I say you cannot bribe a police, you cannot like drink driving. There are very, very few car accidents here because people don't drink and drive because they know you commit a crime, you pay for it. You drink and drive, they're taking away your license. You are going to sleep in a cell. You're not going home that night. You at home, we bribe a policeman or a policewoman. 10 rands, Baba. They let you pass. 20 rands. 20 rands. They even stamp you so that if you see another roadblock, they know you've paid your dues, you paid your bribe. Like, why are we still paying for cold drink when we are doing things that are dangerous, not only to ourselves, but also to other road users? Crime. You can't get away with bribing the police here. Even when you try, you can't. Sorry. Traveling, guys. Traveling is so cheap here. You can go to other European countries. In fact, it's sometimes cheaper to go to another country than it is to travel within London. It is so much cheaper. Like, I've flown, like fly, like a bird, flown for £9 all the way to France. I've taken a Eurostar for like £25. Amsterdam, like it is cheap to go to other countries. I wish we had that in Africa. In Africa, they don't only make it complicated immigration wise. Here they have a system of Schengen where the Schengen visa allows you to go anywhere. And if you get a passport and become a citizen and become neutralized in these countries, life becomes so peaceful. You no longer need a visa for anything. As a South African, I need a visa to visit other African countries. And when I get there, they make it so complicated for me. Same thing in South Africa. When people from other African countries come to South Africa, they give them such a hard time. Here, Europe, you can go and visit, you can come back, you can go to Amsterdam for a party, come back in the morning, you can go, like, I've had 3 meals in different countries. I had breakfast in England. I had lunch in, where did I have? I had lunch in Brussels, and I had dinner in Germany. How beautiful is that? I wish we could have that in Africa, where I'd be like, I'm going to have my breakfast in Ghana and I'm going to have my lunch in Nigeria, and it's doable. But do I want to be applying for a Nigerian visa, a visa to get to Ghana? And then when I get there, immigration is holding me for 27 hours before they let me go through. They're asking me for everything, like all the questions that they can think of. Like, if to get to another African country, they will even ask you your grandmother's bra size. Like, why are we making it difficult for us to travel within our own continent? When you are here, you get to enjoy traveling. You get to be free, especially once you get neutralized and you have their own passports. You just wake up in the morning. We go to the airport and you're like, let's see which flight is cheap. You book it. You get on the flight. You go. I wish we could have that in Africa. And most of all is to get a job. You do not need nepotism. You do not need to know anyone. You do not need to sleep with anyone. Like back home, there are offices where, you know, if you want to work there, when you go in, the thing to ask is, excuse me, who do I sleep with in order to get a job here? Like here, none of that. You get a job because you qualify. You get a job because you applied for it. I love that. Like you get a job because you are willing to work. You are willing to put your time in. You don't have to be connected. You don't need connections for a job. Jobs are advertised because they are looking for people. You apply, you get the job. You supermarket jobs. I'm talking about your care work jobs, hospital jobs. You don't need to be connected in order to get a job. So even if people can come here and not do the jobs they were doing back home, but one thing for sure is they will find work. They will get jobs. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I hope you are all going to share your experiences and some of the things that have made you decide to stay and not go back to Africa. Please do share them in the comment section. And also, please do let us know how long you have lived away from Africa for. And my only worry is that if you look at everything that I have mentioned, there is nothing wrong with Africa, but how it is managed. It is the management of Africa that is a problem. If Africa could be under new management, believe you me, there will be no reason for any African to go looking for greener pastures, because Africa is a beautiful continent. Africa has everything. Africa is just badly managed by those who are in charge. It is so bad that the same people who are working for the public, who are making decisions for us, the same people that we put into power, the same people that are our governments and our government officials, they do not take public transport. You will never see their children in public schools. You will never see them, their children, or even their exes and side chicks. You will never see them in public transports, in public hospitals. You will never see them in public schools. Why are they doing these public things that they know are not fit for them? We need to have people who can take pride in the running of the country, people who can say, I'm proud of this train. I'm going to take it every day when I go to work. I'm proud of this thing. I'm going to use it myself. I'm sick. I'm going to go to the hospital that I built for my people. We need Africa to get to that point. But how it's managed right now is going to remain the reason that we keep living. We keep living because of nepotism, because of everything that is happening in our countries. We end up living and coming abroad, and this has to stop. We need, as people in the diaspora, to come together and try and see what we can do to make changes, so that we can be proud of going back home. We can go home without fear. We can send our children back home without worrying about their education, without worrying about what will happen if they become ill. Which hospital will I take them to? Because I don't have R1 million. I don't have this. I don't have that. I pray for an Africa that is well managed. Thank you so much, guys, for watching the video. Please do share, like, subscribe, and also don't forget, comment section. Please let me know your experiences. How long have you lived abroad? What made you come abroad? And why are you not going back home? Why are you still here? Have you forgotten how to get back home? Why are we still here? Thank you so much, guys. Love you. Bye.